of our unborn babies. Say, come let us rebuild a nation. Come let us rebuild a nation. Come let us restore Biafra for the future of our unborn babies. Buhari, you can stop the protest of the Biafrans. Oh, freedom, oh, freedom, oh, freedom, freedom to Biafra. Oh, freedom, oh, freedom, oh, freedom, freedom to Biafra. Buhari, you can stop the protest of the Biafran, but you can never stop the revolution of the Biafran. They tried to stop us so many years ago, when they tried to wipe us from the surface of the earth by killing our children, killing our fathers, forcing our mothers to become Muslims, by killing the prophet of the Biafrans, by killing the heroes of the Biafrans. But somebody say that he's willing to give up his life. But Nani Kanu say he's ready to die for the Biafran. It doesn't matter how they cheat us. It doesn't matter how they deceive us. It doesn't matter how they kill us. Biafra is our home, I say. It doesn't matter how they cheat us. It doesn't matter how they deceive us. It doesn't matter how they kill us. Biafra is our home. That's why we say freedom, 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 freedom to Biafra. Freedom, 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 freedom to Biafra. I'm gonna tell you something you need to know. I'm gonna tell you something, if only you will help me. Killing Biafrans every day can never make us one. Killing Biafrans every day can never make us one. Using herdsmen, killing Biafrans can never make us one. Shooting and bombing every day can never make us one, because we are not one culture, we are not one religion, we are not one language. We Biafrans to go. We are not one culture, we are not one religion, we are not one language. We Biafrans to go. Freedom, 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 freedom to Biafra. Freedom, freedom, freedom to Biafra.
Yes, once again, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom, men and women of goodwill, conscious people wherever you are all over the world, I will say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. This is Radio Biafra Extra, and we are streaming live to Radio Biafra London, being anchored by the Deputy Leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, Mazi Kafomefo. He is from Abatete. Abatete is in Anambra State, and Anambra State is Biafra land. He's the man who have assured us that he will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption. Like I will always say, one day we will understand and appreciate the mindset behind those words. Mazi from Efo is standing on a deputizing capacity on behalf of our Supreme Leader Mazi Nandi Okukano, the Prince of Afari Beku, heir to the throne of Ibeku Kingdom, the one and the only man that stood up to speak for the collective interests of the Biafran people. For almost 60 years now, nobody have been able to do that. He is from Afari Beku. Afari Beku is in Umuahia. Umuahia is in Abia State, and Abia State is Biafra land. He's the director of Radio Biafra as well as Biafran Television, the one and the only man that commands the loyalty of the Biafran people. And by the grace of Chukwu Kikabiama, I remain George Onyeibe. I am from Abo. Abo is in Delta State, and Delta State is Biafra land. Of course, we will continually appreciate the Creator, Chukwu Kikabiama, the one who has taught us that there is a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. For he is our wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, in matter both great and small. He remains the primordial influence that drives us. And in my humble way, I will acknowledge him tonight as always. Anye na jage mau nihina imara mai ihonanya ine nage ubiomage ojuru anyanya dadio inwe gimbanwe o di onye dekage Ebu Alpha and Omega, Anine Nasina Nedemao. Without wasting much of our time, we shall go on to our topic this evening, but we must not forget, on this segment, the theme remain back to your root. The theme remain back to your root. As we all know, we have been reprogrammed to extend that everything about our ancestors, we consider them evil. It's unbelievable. Everything about our ancestors, we consider them evil. And sometimes I could only wonder, do you mean these people existed, they walk on this earth before there was anything like America? Most people don't know America was created. The difference between American creation and Nigerian creation is that the people of America agreed, let's go by that. But the creation of Nigeria, the people of Britain, colonial terrorists agreed. In Berlin Conference, they agreed. Our fathers was here before they came. And these people have lived thousands of years. Biafra is over 5,000 years older than Britain. Of course, they should tell us who they were before they changed their name to Britain. But having said that, these people could not have lived for 10,000 years on, and the only thing the memory we have about them is evil, evil, evil. But then the people who actually brought evil are seen as good, good, good. And now we have come to an era and a stage where we must embrace the truth. Because this is the only thing that will ensure our survival. Believe me. With forensic investigation, analysis and evidence set before us, we can only be humble that we have fathers like our fathers, irrespective of who they are. It doesn't matter how you see it. We must go back to our root. I have had access to the ancient people. And believe me, I can only imagine the likes of them walking on this earth again. Because they were the best of the kind Homo sapiens has ever known. The best of the best that have walked this planet earth. No wonder even the angels envy us. Satan envy us. Even though we were mere mortal. Even though they knew that after we have walked this earth, we may not walk this earth again. Yet they envy us with their immortality. Yet they still envy us. And now, little wonder, most of you do not know. With every resources stolen from our land, in Britain, these colonial terrorists are not satisfied. Yet they envy us. Hausa, Fulani, Yoruba want you to see them as who they are not. Yet they envy us. But of course, all these things will become beneficiary to us the moment we go back to our root. And of course, we are moving into another series, which we have actually been able to look into the introduction. But because it's quite a long time now, let's refresh our mind before we go to our topic today, which is simply titled The Star of David. The theme the introduction, we look at the topic, spiritual aspect of our culture that are being neglected. We look at the Star of David. We look at the issue of astrology. We look at the art of defilement. We look at the implication of circumcision. We look at the 4 elements that governs the universe. We consider the influence of dream and vision. We look at the way of Chukwu Okike Abiama. We look at the transition known as astral travel. We look at powers, the divine fruit that enable or empower one. All of these are recorded in the Bible. But the presentation of each and every one of them, or each by a different religion, make it look as it's something different. These are the things we are going to study in this series. We should be able to relate them to our ancestors and understand how it works for them. With this true knowledge, nobody deceives you. Nobody deceives you. The Bible says, my people perish because they lack knowledge. And with time, you will understand that somebody demonized you. You are not demon. Except somebody demonized you. It's unbelievable. Of course, our topic this evening, having said that, is the Star of David. The Star of David, as we all know, is something that is more of a mystery to all of us. The Star of David, our brothers are worshipped in the Sabbatarian, Yehudian, Judaism, as the case may be. They wear the Star of David. It looks like it's meant from Israel. It looks like the people of Israel gave us the Star of David. Will you talk about the Star of David? There are so much for us to learn about that. But I won't confuse you further. And believe me, I'm not trying to tell you that everything I said here is the truth and remain the perfect truth. But rather, I will humble myself and say, you go and verify. And sometimes when you are doing certain things, you should be able to know your culture that have been stolen from you, they modernize it and return it back to you and enslave you with it. These are some of the things, some of the chains we must unshackle ourselves from. Today, the Star of David is drawn in the map of Israel. But the Star of David has been in existence for as long as we can remember. The Star of David is not used by only Israeli, not only in Africa. China recognized the Star of Israel. Most of you do not know. The Star of Israel means to the Chinese and the Japanese, the man and the woman. We can go on and try to narrate what the Star of David is. Believe me, it will only confuse us. But I will try to bring us back home. What brought Star of David to Anambra State, Omambara? What was the Star of David, the symbol you think is Israel's symbol, inside the Jewish flag? What brought it to Anambra? At least Theresa May is still alive. His ancestors took it from Anambra. They concocted many things with it, which we are not aware of. But tonight, I won't dig into other people's tradition or culture as they have made it to be. We will look into our culture regarding the Star of David. And for your information, those who are listening to us, and you don't understand what the Star of David is, number one thing I want you to know is that there is no single place in the Bible where anything like the Star of David is mentioned. It is an alien to the Bible. The Bible never mentioned the Star of David. Scholars have tried to narrate what it means. But this is a knowledge not known to the Bible. I could ask most of you to go and read Christian literature written by the priests, Phoenix Dix, among others. You will see nowhere in the Bible where the Star of David was mentioned. The Bible knows nothing about the Star of David. Some say it's the shield of David. No. Some say it is the symbol of the armor of the soldiers that fought with David. No. In fact, David, all the soldiers that fought with David have a symbolical tag on them. It is not the Star of David. And then those of you who are Christian, go and study your Bible. And those of you who still use Bible, go and study your Bible. And as this series continues, if you see anywhere where the Star of David is mentioned, please come back to me and say, yes, I saw it. Let's review it. But like I said, we will not dabble into what it means to other culture. We must understand what this Star of David means to us. That it was dug out in Anambra and taken to Britain. It's in their museum today. Not today. Even before 1914. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And this word which I command thee this day shall be in your heart. You shall teach them diligently to your children, and talk to them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 5 to 7. To all this, we must know God's words. If you go back to that Deuteronomy and understand, this was the first time Moses received the word of God. And God gave him instruction how the people must conduct themselves according to the Bible. And he directed them that this instruction I am giving to you should not just be something that is in your heart alone for you to recite. Write them on your doorpost. Make a signboard of them. The prophet said, make a very big signboard that those who are running can be able to read it. Put them in your doorpost. Put them on your door. Everywhere you put the symbol, so that when your children see this symbol, when they see this writing, they will know how to obey my words. That was the origin of the Star of David. That could be the beginning of culture and tradition. Now let's come back home a little bit. The Star of David, as you know, like I said, have different implications. But how it found our way back to our life goes this way. We have tradition. We have culture. A way of life that is being respected by the global community before our identity was taken from us. They took all these things from us, remanufactured them, and bring them back for us. Now the Star of David is double triangle. One of them is facing down, and the other one is facing up. And now the spiritual implication imply the relationship between God and man as applied. And then if it is the physical aspect of it, it simply means the both sides of the star mean the lower self and the higher self. In all the words, there is nobody that is so righteous that he does not do bad. And there is nobody that is so evil that he does not do good. But the combination of your good aspect and your bad aspect is what brings out the perfect human. Most of you watch Robin Hood. They make a hero out of an armed robber. But if Robin Hood were to be Igbo man, FBI would have been investigating Robin Hood, and he will be the highest criminal of all time. In other words, when it comes to the spiritual implication of this Star of David, it means the relationship between God and man. It could also mean physical aspect of it, the higher self and the lower self. To every culture and tradition, it symbolizes different things, which we are not going to go in this evening, but as it concerns us as a people. And so our fathers and their father before them had culture that transit beyond the Bible, beyond Christianity here in our land. There were a lot of things our ancestors were doing. But today, Yoruba pastors are taking glory that they taught you all those things. In fact, they are rewriting the Bible. They are now telling you that all things has passed away and all things has become new. That is not enough. I can tell you that more than 70% of the people who wrote the Bible that conditions us as we speak today are not even Christian. Zundavan is the author of Joy of Gay Sex. Zundavan is the pastor of Church of Satan. Among others, he is the translator of the New Living Bible. And the New Living Bible, we all know that over 4,579 words or more have been omitted from that very Bible. But do not be surprised that in less than 50 years, our children will not be reading the same Bible we are reading today. But that is not the area I'm going to. At every translation of the Bible, it is being rewritten. And some of them are so diluted that it becomes a mere magazine. But we will not go there. Now, why I'm bringing that issue up is, let us look at our culture and tradition as a people. You do circumcision. Every male child is to be circumcised. Please, are you sure we started it when church came? Or our fathers were doing this before church came? Please. When you talk about the hair, it's the first son in our place. Our culture never empowered a woman above a man. You can be the last son of your family, having 100 girls as your senior. Our culture never empowered the women over you. The first son of every man become the person who will handle the mountain. At least you can date it back to Abraham. And they have something, they know who is the first son. In my place, they call it Ishube. Ishube. Original first son. Because sometimes you can be a first son. If you do not meet the culture and tradition of our people, though you are a first son, if your mother is not married when they give birth to you, you can't be Ishube. You can't be original son of your father. But yet you are the son of your father. This is what they told you about Ishmael and Isaac. Yes, Ishmael is the first son of Abraham. But the marriage between Abraham and Hagar is not in line with the laws of God. And so God changed it that Isaac, the second son, had to become heir. But we have been doing that here in Biafra land before they came. We talk about Nsongwane on the Igbo tradition. And that is during the menstrual period of a woman. In those days, our fathers built huts. They don't sleep in the same house with our mother. They don't sleep in the same room. The mothers have their own room. And the reason they have their own room is not because they are quarreling with their husband. Because when it is period for menstruation, the women will go to their own hut and they don't near the man. Because it is believed that when they go close to the man, they defy the man. You go and read your Bible very well. These things we didn't learn them from the Bible. In fact, the current people preaching the Bible today are taking these things away from us. We talk about the issue of circumcision. We talk about how to count lineage. It will amaze you people that the Israel of Netanyahu today, they count their lineage through their mother and father. Their lineage, they count it through their father and their mother. We don't do that here. Our lineage, we count them only by our father. But of course, there are principles that people are trying to do in order to bastardize this culture. But you don't know originally, you are the epitome of civilization. But they want you to think that, oh, yeah, you are evil. And so you abandon all of them. Coming back to the Star of David. This symbol, in this symbol alone, looking at this symbol alone, you understand what the law and commandment of the Creator, Chukwu Kikabiama, is. You don't need anybody to tell you anything. And so when they came to our land, we were not primitive. They were not thief in our land. They were not saboteur in our land. Everybody have to respect himself. Let me remind you, I was born in an era where door don't have key. I witnessed it in my own village. In Abo, I was born in Abo, Rugodo. I witnessed it. No house have a key. No matter how rich you are, no matter how, whatever you are, no house have a key. I witnessed it. An ancient community. There is no key. There was no robber. I have said this before. Our next neighbor in my grandmother's house, where I was brought up, the next neighbor is a native doctor. And of course, you know you have Dibie and Obuebulu. Dibie and Obuebulu. One of them is supposed to be the oracle you consult. And the other one is the herbalist, your pharmacy in those days. Then the other one is supposed to be the consultants. Or what do they call them? Let's leave the grammar anyway. The one that is close to us is those native doctors they fear. But do you know none of us is sick? Do you know he cannot poison any of us? Do you know we leave our pot of soup and we go to school and come back? Even the dog in our house, we roast meat on the fire. Dog don't touch it. The dog, we are civilized as we are. This is the people we are. In fact, to cock it all up, a musician sang a song and he said, Nambo, onye ngulo tie, who is there? Onyo shi aboso, bama mene banse. You know, I can't say it very well, but I understand what he said. But maubua, onyo litie, who is there? Onye ngulo banse, bama mene tupo of onye juajojo. That is how bad it can be. In those days, criminals don't come. They were gone. Armed robbers don't rob you, but they were gone. Go back and check the record of Nigerian police in the 80s and the 70s. The highest criminal case you will hear is burglary, breaking and entry. And when they catch you for breaking and entry, you look more deadlier, more dangerous than Boko Haram. But today, look at everywhere. Police itself will tell you, come, no forget I be police. I go just shoot you now, nothing go happen. No. I beg, bring your ATM. They now bring out POS for you. But they are the holy people, though. Our ancestors are evil. But we must continue. The point is, what is the secret? How do they survive? How do they make it? As evil as they are, they had a very stabilized society. Things fall apart. The center can no longer hold. The flag of Nigeria in 1914 to 1960 have the Star of David. This Star of David have been used in British Nigeria, in British Nigerian rule for as long as we can remember, because of the Igbo Jews who were featured on the coin of the British West African pounds. The crest of the flag was also used on the flag of the Governor General of Nigeria. That Star of David. The flag of British Nigerian Company called Nigeria have the Star of David from 1914 to 1960 independent, and they removed it. What was the Star of David doing in the flag of British Nigerian Company? And why did they bore the hole at the middle of that coin? What does this thing represent to us as a people? And then after independence, they say, yes, we have them where we go. We just have them where we want them to be. And then they push it aside. Today, look at what we have. We thought the Yoruba pastor deceiving you. In fact, there is a leading Christian church pastor that killed the wife and he was sentenced to death. And many more. Something was wrong. Something is wrong. But all of us, we may not have the Star of David before us. But we must not forget what they symbolize and go back to how our ancestors survived. I understand most buildings in America don't have fence. In fact, I was working in a building. The owner of the house went to buy barbed wire, security fencing wire. And they were speaking on phone. Bring an American model. Bring a Russian model. Bring this model. And somebody was like, I thought you are coming from America. This thing you are buying to put in this house, you only see it in armories in America. We don't even use that in there. He said, oh boy, leave amo, leave amo. So America is learning to have a society without fence. We now are building our compound to armory. Some of you, your fence is almost 100 feet high, like the wall of Jericho. And then you put electric fencing wire. You put a Japanese model of security fencing. You put Russia, all of them on top of your own house. And you don't even have money there. But to you, this is the only sense of security you have. Morality has been destroyed. And so there is no sense of security. Most of you don't know that police go to a police station in Nigeria. They change their generator. I'm telling you a police station. In fact, go to Aso Rock now. The generator that is powering where Jubri is staying. I swear if you are there now, go and check it. They put chain there. They chain, every police station have a generator. And their generator, they padlock it to protect them. This is how bad it can become. That is for you to understand. That AK-47 will not give anybody morality. intimidation and harassing the people will not bring about morality. We as a people must understand, you can't bend anybody to your will. That is who we are from origin. And then we must apply the word of Chukwu Okike Abiama he gave to our ancestors in our daily life. And then you will see there will be no need for AK-47. There will be no need for police. Yes, we give it to our Hausa people. They have police far. Even before Lucifer was created, we give it to them. But there was no need for police in Biafra land because everybody understood the law. Everybody obeyed the law. The same way you see Nigerian today, they don't obey the law. They are the one trying to make law to hang you. Idiots. But of course, I won't call them idiots this evening. So we'll focus on our study this evening. And now, like I said, if we begin to dig into the Star of David, I can tell you throughout the remaining of this year, we will be doing that. But I want you to understand how it applies to us as a people. And these are three aspects I want us to look at this evening. Number one, what is the Star of David is the instrument of installing morality, because these are where the word of God is. Like I said, when you look at it from the physical approach of it, it means two things, the higher self and the lower self. And it is expected that you are able to balance them. If you know that you are a hot-tempered person, you should avoid where they provoke you. You walk away. If I have hot temper and I'm with you and I notice you are provoking me, it is expected of me to walk away. I'm walking away not because I'm afraid of you. I'm walking away simply because you will not enjoy my reaction. And certainly, I don't want you to. I don't want to. You avoid. That is why where I come from, as an Agbo man, we don't fight ourselves. We don't fight ourselves. We don't have any law. It's almost impossible to see a real Agbo man fighting Agbo man, because our law simply say, if you cannot move with this person, you leave that person alone. So when I see you as Agbo man, I can't flow with you. I avoid you. That does not mean I like what you are doing. But there is this law from our ancestors that say, we don't fight ourselves. Agbo mean family. We don't fight ourselves. You see anybody running helter-skelter misbehaving from Agbo, watch the person very well. No matter how Nigerians try to divide us, Agbo people know they are Agbo people. But they obey this law without knowing. Why? Because this law is written in their heart already. Honestly, I tell you the truth. Since I was born till today, no police, the only useless policeman who tried to harass me as an Agbo man, when I was done with him, he keep apologizing. In fact, any day he sees me, he can't stand it. It is difficult for an Agbo man to betray an Agbo man. And you see any Agbo man betraying an Agbo man, watch them, they are the product of rape, because it's not in our character. We don't do juju to do them. But the moment you forget this law of your ancestors that install discipline in a community, you are gone as a people. And that is exactly what Nigerians want for you. That is what your Yoruba pastor want for you. They tell you it's evil, ordinarily it's evil, omenala is evil. Come and say Jesus. And you go and serve Jesus with pure mind. And when you commit sin, they tell you that God has forgiven you. Why won't you commit sin another day? Understand why they are who they are. Most of the privileges respect we enjoy, privileges we enjoy in our land today as a people is because of the ancestral law that binds our community. This law clearly say, do not remove boundary. Don't move boundary. Until Yoruba people came and introduced structural boundary adjustment program and start removing boundary, and they tell you nothing will happen. The moment they finish, then we start removing boundary. Every community know the tree that represent boundary in their land. For instance, Agbo, where I come from, there is a tree we call Egbo. Anywhere you see Egbo, it's boundary. Nobody moves it. Nobody plants it anyhow. It's remember beacon. and I understand traditional people within Biafra land, you know there are trees that set as boundary. Even when you are fighting over boundary, you know that you are stealing somebody's land. But the point is that if you succeed, you are fighting with God, not man. But I doubt if Yoruba have anything that they used to know their boundary. Because if they do, Yoruba will not be telling you that they own a shake hand across River Niger. They don't. If Hausa Fulani have, they will not be looking for how to dip Bible into Quran. If they have any such law, they will respect us as a people. And in most cases, irrespective of diversities of languages in Biafra land. Of course, the same culture, the same people. There is no history of anybody conquering anybody. I give it to the Igbo man. The Igbo man on quote outnumber every tribe in Biafra land almost 1 to 1,000. But there is no community that can come out today and say this land belonged to us before Igbo man took it. But rather it is Igbo man land that is being taken. Because we understand this thing. Nobody takes over another person's land. If there is communal crisis in Biafra land, it is because Nigerian government has initiated it to turn us against one another. And so one of the purposes of that Star of David is not for spiritual protection, but it was to constantly remind you about the word of God, the law of Chukwokika that is supposed to be written in your heart. It tells you don't fight stranger. When Fulani, Hausa, Yoruba are doing what they are doing, it's not because we don't know how to kill. We were forbidden by this law not to kill strangers. We have to value life. And this is our weakness. But in the end, they will understand that it is our strength at the end of the day. We don't kill people. We don't undo strangers. Because Chukwokika Biama say, be very careful that if there is any stranger living among you, do not torture them, do not suffer them. If you do, and they cry to me, I will turn against you. We know this law. We know this law. But if Yoruba or Fulani understand this law, they won't be coming to undo us. They are busy burning her. This is December now. Start burning Igbo business. But of course, you people will pay. Because we are now crying to him. And he will hear our voice. And all of you will pay dearly for it. There are a lot of things we don't do. When you hear rape, can somebody tell me what they call rape in Igbo dialect? Because it doesn't exist. There is nothing like rape in Igbo dialect. Please, if you know it, when our lines is open, you tell me. Because it doesn't exist. Until it was actually designed and plugged into us. I was raped. Say it in Igbo dialect now. Say it in Ijaw dialect now. You can't. It doesn't exist. In our world, it's not there. Because we were actually properly indoctrinated. We were taught how to live and let other people live. Most of the atrocities you hear today, they do not have name in our dialect because they never existed. So the Star of David is not for design. It's not for us to know that you are Shabbatarian or Rubucharian. No, it was for you to look at and understand the law of Chukwokika Biama and obey it. Because if we all obey them as it's supposed to be, there are a lot of things that will happen. Number 2, the symbol or the Star of David as you know today is a symbol of authority that guarantees the presence of God. And so the moment you see this symbol, you have that confidence assurance that God is there. You know that he is with you. And that's so when you put it on, it was supposed to give you that hope, confidence assurance that he will be with you. Go and ask the Israelites. And he said to Solomon, according to the Bible, for when I shall scatter the people of God across the globe, and from where I scatter them to, if they will lift up their hand towards the direction of this mosque, this temple I mean, and pray to me, I will answer them. And so an Israel man, who is actually an Israel man, anywhere they are, when they want to pray, they face the direction of the temple of Solomon. With this confidence assurance that the Creator, Elohim, will answer them. But you will not understand the spiritual implication of it. That is why Yoruba cannot wear them. Hausa Fulani cannot wear them. These people know that law doesn't govern them. We are not the same people. Don't you understand? There are things, back to your root, you have to discover yourself. That is the only time we can recover everything that have been taken from us. We are people of character. Refined character, I must tell you. Disciplined people, I must tell you. Great warriors, I must tell you. King and prince, I must tell you. The finest of it all that has walked upon the face of this planet Earth. But that which empowers us have been taken from us. There are certain things we see. You say, oh, you can't, but we only guiding you. You will come back home yourself. Because that is the only time you will truly be at home. We will direct you, but you will do the walking. Ask yourself a question. Why is it that you can never see Yoruba Dada? But although after these brokers, they can go and pour stout and egg, raw egg, in their head and do Dada, and then Yoruba will project them. So is this not Yoruba Dada? It's not their style. What of Hausa? I thought they are black. It's not their style. But you see Dada, Nazarian in Ethiopia, because these are the children of Solomon through the Queen of Sheba. You could see them in Jamaica. These are some of the slaves taken from Aruchiku who were dumped there after the Igbo rising. These are our people. But of course, everybody will return home to Mount Zion from where they were taken. We shall go home. But those of us who are in Nigeria, who are here in Biafra land, we must recover our identity. We must discover in order to recover everything. And so, for your information, it is a symbol that guarantees that God is with you. Observe those of you who wear this ring, who carry this star. Watch the policeman in Nigeria, how they look at you. They don't want to look at you 2 times. You are Keke na Pepe, Okada rider. Once they see you, it's either they say, give us our money, or they just wave you, pass, pass, pass. The same way they are afraid of the name of Biafra. I was somewhere yesterday, or was it day before yesterday, and I saw some young boys. They were on a taxi. They brought out Biafran flag, gingering everywhere. They got to a major checking point. I moved out from my location. I went to stand by the road there with my camera ready for them. But when they saw the boys, I was thinking the boys would be intimidated. They brought out their head from the vehicle with their flag waving. Because we know no evil and no evil will know us. You do anyhow, you see anyhow. Having seen the confidence and the boldness of these people, they let them go. But of course, they can choose to shoot them. But will it stop us? That is the question. And then finally, we look at that symbol of David. The Star of David, as you call it. It is a physical symbol. A physical symbol for the people of God. As a people of Chukwukika Biama, this is how we know ourselves. Sometimes you begin to wonder. Every country have their coat of arms. Every country have their flag. This can only be given birth through the information they have from their ancestors. You wake up one day and there is a cloth with respect. They call it Ishiago, 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 Ishiago. Without a single fact that we respect, the Igbos respect their culture, Ishiago would have been termed as evil. In fact, they were here, they tried to rubbish that cloth. One of them is almost dead. They call it Akuchi. But why did they say Ishiago? They would have said Singwene, or Ishi Turu Turu, or isi melu melu. No, they say Isiago, the head of a lion. And when we begin to talk about the lion of the tribe of Judah, we will begin to talk about everything related to a lion. You should be able to know where we are coming from. But the Fulani was out there, isi melu melu. They are wearing isi melu melu everywhere. And they understand isi melu melu. That is why everywhere you see them, in your national passport as a Zoo citizen in Nigeria, in your national assembly, in your currency, everywhere, isi melu melu, isi melu melu. Because these are the descendants of melu melu. Don't you get it? What are the Yoruba? Isi chameleon. Their own is isi chameleon. Everywhere, isi chameleon. Because they know who they are. But they are one Nigeria. They want us to remain in one Nigeria. How can isi chameleon and isi melu melu and isi ago be in one forum? Never. Never. Understand the role the Star of David play. Go back and find out what are the rules, what are the law, what are the principles that govern our ancestors. All these things are gone. In those days, when you see an elder, it smells. It smells. You cannot look at elder in the face and talk. In those days, not because they are powerful, but because the only thing that come out from their mouth is truth. Truth. You see some people, they commit crime. When they tell you, when you are in Lagos, you are in Sokoto, you are in Kotangora, they tell you that they have summoned you to the elder. Most people don't come back home again until they make peace. But these elders don't have AK-47 like the elders you have today. The only thing they threaten you is with police and AK-47. We will kill you, we will shoot you, we will intimidate you, we will harass you, we will mobilize you, we will escapulate you, we will mechanize you. This is the only thing elders have to control us today. I know those days, they summon you to elder. In fact, they summon you to youth in your village, and your hand is not clean. I tell you, most people never come back to the village again. Every year, when people are going home, they say, please now, help me talk to the elders now, please now. It's a mistake now, please now. And then you go back to the person you have offended. And you begin to beg the person, please now. The person say, no, you must come home, or we must settle this matter. Oh. And then all of a sudden, you people make peace in the city. And then you now come home, and you now meet those elders. They were not PhD holders, so, and they will actually appreciate you for realizing that you have made a mistake, and you went to make amends, and they forgive you, and even pray for you to go and prosper the more. Those were elders. We were not afraid of them because they have Fulani connection. Because they said the truth. And you can trace that origin of the Star of David back to our leader, Mazi and Kano. Today, millions of us will die for him over and over if he said we should do so. Does he have the money to share for us? The answer is no. Does he have the bullet and AK-47 to intimidate us? The answer is no. For your information, all of us are volunteer, including me. We are all volunteer. But of course, the greatest weapon he has on us is the truth. And look at it today. The truth, the word of Chukwu Kikabia, the truth. And so when you are there as a governor, you think you can use Fulani to intimidate us. You think we are ignorant about who we are? No, we now know who we are. For everything that have been hidden from us is being laid bare. Biafrans, go back and find out what the Star of David mean to your family. I'm not digging down completely. I just create a scenario, a platform for you to stand there. So when you hold that Star of David, as you call it, when you hold that symbol, ask Chukwu Kikabiama to open your eye so you understand what you are holding. It is not talisman. It is more than that. It is the symbol that instills sanity in the society. Principle of the rule of law. It is the symbol that gives confidence, assurance to our people that they are not alone in this journey. The Creator is with us. It is our identity, our culture and tradition as a people. And this we cannot afford to throw away. For in the end, we are Biafrans. We remain Biafrans. Nothing more, nothing less. Like I said, when our lines are open, you are free to come out and tell Biafrans what you understand about the symbol of David. Without IPOB, that symbol is gone and wiped away from the memory of our people. Our leader Mazi, being a Jewish worshipper, resurrected that symbol once again. But remember, it has always been here. But they killed it. They hid it from us. And so from 1914 till 1960 independent, it was embedded in the British pounds. It was also in the flag of the British Nigerian Company. And then after independence, they feel our identity must be destroyed. They feel that we must be destroyed. Our very existence threatened them. And so they stop at nothing. But like I said, in the beginning, we were Biafrans. Today, we are Biafrans. And tomorrow, we will remain Biafra. For it is Biafra or Biafra. I'll be back in a minute.
We are Biafra. We love Biafra. We are Biafrans. We love Biafra. I say we are Biafrans. We love Biafra. We are Biafrans. We love Biafra. Where we show the whole world how much we love Biafra, our beloved father's land. We love and cherish. We show the whole world how much we love Biafra, our beloved father's land. We love and cherish. Biafra's story is the most touching and painful story in the world. Biafrans have been killing every day and night, but nobody is talking. Everywhere silent. We should be ashamed of ourselves. Hey, we said we are Christians, but we do nothing to help the Biafrans.
Of course, at this moment, our lines are open. Our WhatsApp line is 07081545642. 07081545642 is our WhatsApp line. If you are a Biafran, you are yet to join IPOB, please send your data to this line. Tell us your name, your phone number, and your location. The nearest coordinator will contact you. Don't let anybody deceive you. You don't have a choice. You are a Biafran, you are a Biafran. The earlier, the better. Our direct line is 08122152971. 081-221-52971 is our direct line. And the special number meant for the women is 081-288-58614. Special number for the female is 081-288-58614. And of course, you are free to call in. Caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Ada. Go ahead, please.
How are you doing?
God is faithful, my dear. Go ahead.
Okay. I want to thank my everybody, Mazi and May Almighty Elohim continue to bless and protect him in the mighty name of Yahushua HaMashiach of Nazareth. So, Mazi, there's something you talk about these women and their monthly periods. You see, what I observe is that when my father is still alive, when we are young, as a little bit, for instance, if my mom is in that monthly period, you will not cook for him for that 7 days. I will not come near the kitchen or whatsoever until after that menstruation. That is one thing I observe. Another thing is all these people we called Ndogomo, they do the same thing. And another thing about those people, for instance, if you tell them to go.
Of course, that is Zoo Epileptic Network, but I understand where our sister was coming from and exactly where she was going to. I just want you to understand. It's simple. These were instructions given by the Creator to the Leviticus, the priest of the tribe of Israel, as the case may be. Why are they doing it in our land? Who taught our father? Most of you even do them or serve them without knowing why you do them. Because this is who we are. The moment the Star of David, as they call it, was taken from us, we lost all these things. And when the servant of God was reappearing, he came with them. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came back with them. He's sending multiple signals to you Biafrans across the globe. In one words, IPOB Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is sending to you signals that will recover you for all time. I wish you could see it. Are you still there? Call on WhatsApp.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening from here. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, my name is Peter Onyeibe, and I'm calling from Aba. Mazi Onyeibe. Hello.
Go ahead, please. The word is listening. I wish you will go ahead. Yes, caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from? Of course, we must continue. Caller on WhatsApp, are you there? Caller on WhatsApp, are you there?
Hello.
When you call me, avoid your radio. Caller on the line,
Hello?
your name. Good evening from here.
Good evening, my name is Precious.
Go ahead, please.
Is this teaching offer?
This is George Onyeibe, and you are talking to Radio Biafra.
Good evening.
Good evening. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, my name is Pius. I'm calling from Iceland.
Go ahead, Mazi.
Yeah, I just want to thank you for what you are doing for Biafra. Hello, do you hear me?
Go ahead, my brother, please, or you want me to be interrupting you?
Okay, thank you very much. I just want to thank you for this lecture tonight, and I appreciate you for all you are doing for Biafrans. And I want to use this opportunity to thank our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for making us proud every day and every day. You see, like the topic you are saying this night is so important to us, so that make us to know who we are, and for us to go back to our roots, and also to discover what have been taken from us. That's Star of David. All those enemies have stolen, that our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came and then brought it back to us, for us to know the real who we are, and then what we're supposed to do as the children of Omochukwu Okike Abiama. So I really thank our leader, and also we thank you to Mazi George Onyeibe for what you are doing for us, even for bringing all these things to light and for us to see all these things and also to know who we are. Once again, I want to use this opportunity to call on people of Ojoto. I'm not hearing their voice like I said the other time. Let them begin to, speak out in this radio Biafra. I want to be hearing their voice. People of Ojoto, I want to be hearing your voice in this radio Biafra. For this struggle is for every one of us. Mazi Onyeibe, thank you very much. And I say, may God Almighty continue to guide you and protect you in the name of Chukwu Abiyama. Good night.
Good night. Thank
my
you
brother.
very much. We are going home. Our people must understand the truth. Are you there, caller on the line? Caller on the line, are you there? Yes, sir, caller on the female line, can you hear me? Caller on the female line, good evening from here. Go ahead, please. I will advise you to stop listening to your radio. I will advise you to stop listening to your radio. And that is why we always warn people, don't eat Yoruba food or Hausa food. They poison your brain. Are you there, caller on WhatsApp? Yes, sir, caller on the female line. Can you hear me? If you call me and I notice you are still listening to your radio, I will cut you off myself. Hello? Good evening from here. Go ahead, please.
Hello? Hello?
Will you go ahead or I should cut you off?
Hello?
And of course, that is because they are listening to the radio waiting for my voice. Can you hear me, caller on the line?
I'm here, Mazi Onyeibe.
Go ahead, please.
Mazi Onyeibe, I want to thank you very much for what you are doing for us. My name is Onyeibe. I'm calling from Onyeibe Province. Mazi Onyeibe, according to what you have just said concerning this style of David, you mentioned the way our people fight, very brave, and with that lion head that we have on our clothes. For this reason, I have something I have to say about this French deputy ambassador. During the war, when he came here, his name is Raymond Offray. Raymond Offray. He has this to say. He said, before I came to Biafra, I was told that Biafrans fought like heroes. But now, I know that Biafra, that heroes fight like Biafra. This is what he said. Before I came to this Biafra, I was told that Biafrans fought like heroes. But now, I know that heroes fight like Biafra. You see, this is just what I want to say, so that everybody will get to know. Even without nothing, we're able to keep on and hold this battle for the length we did it without a single bullet. At least people go to the front with only 10 bullets each, and we're able to hold their on. You can imagine when we have at least half of what they have. I just want to let this one know, because they have been trying to push us to fight, but not that we are cowards, but we don't want to do anything for now, because we follow the rules and the command from our leader, namely, Kano. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We must continue. Are you there, caller on the line? Good evening. Good evening. My name is Dr. from Aba. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Go ahead. You have heard my voice, and I say go ahead. Okay. Why are you focusing on your radio?
My name is Dr. calling from Aba. You make a moon on Roma in our life. Not a Kachuko Picadiama, because they do. We go back to our roots. This topic in here, I like them because all this Yoruba people, man, and Mazi and go na Bible. All the combined assessment in our zone, more auxiliary zone. Some place our coordinator go to na Bible, go to na Bible. Even this India church, I want to do the more this Yoruba church, Kaha Gromo, that place I go chara na Bible in the Old Testament. Ya na aju. And the Naga coordinators. Why in the pastor see they go all this Old Testament, they have a tataka na laws in that meaning. None Bible. I'm saying yes. No, na have a tataka and all this thing. I'm on that church in Aga good. Only dia all this Yoruba and the outer church. Only the heat nearly as on over tight. Asa Kovanka. Gome Gusika Yebe Hana Kogo. Don't appear in the face of the Lord with empty handed. Yeah, because the main thing kusiri kuzira in a Bible, Hana Kuzira, on the Como Dadanda Ana Muba. Now hospital with them narrow. We be telling Mother and I want that this baby is dead. No need to be created that has all chooses that church is choosy. The one that oh hanga worry that April the Tuesday and I the boy. Nanga mega you no ba instant the boy are jewel is small baby and the brooding myself bri alaba na one a year old dada. Na dada na na yana church but you Yoruba church in the name I am ha Mazi umena nani. So na sitting a people na Chineke work the gun nande. Na say oga dere anyi na mma. Oga dere kwana nande kano na mma. Onye mere kodera you onye mere ka mara our root because from Bible anago oneme ayana ha Mazi. The Jungle Bible and I ain't gonna Old Testament in the pastor fan have but I go like I am able to have a guy who near how we are Nana, near those Dana room I am every Sunday. No bomb can rig I got churches on no Jimmy good a goffin, a good dog, at least not our church and only gives you 800 or 1,000 haka. You know, you're going to put a 1,000 Java church. You're going to kill it, you have not an that's no man, I am not Chineke on in you. You can so what and in the Yoruba honey. Then we can get Mazi and Nasi, opposite that. Nasi, I got the regular mana for Tata for Nasi, I got the regular mana for got the regular mana for the regular money, or get your quality, but in the minute. Let it get a community on your merit, on your money, about women, or the easy, Nasi can get on.
Thank you very much. Our people must understand. Our fathers were disciplined. Our fathers were culture. Our fathers are tradition. Envied by those who invaded our land. They were men and women of dignity. Honor, that is what they represent. And if you are a little bit of what they are, you will understand what we are saying. Are you still there, caller on WhatsApp? Caller on WhatsApp.
Yeah, Mazi.
Go ahead, please. Good evening from here.
Good afternoon from here. My name is Mazi Meka, calling from Indianapolis, USA. I'm from Onyeibe, Biafra land. Mazi, honestly, I thank you for your teaching, man. This your teaching today is very, very awesome. Mazi, I want to comment on the issue regarding the rewriting of the Bible. Honestly speaking, while growing up, I only know one Bible because I grew up in Catholic family. I know about good news, but now this place, if you went to a library, you will see a lot of Bibles everywhere. And which I buy the idea what you said, that in the next 50 years time now, they're going to rewrite the Bible again, controlling the minds of Africa, especially.
The target of rewriting the Bible at this moment, though it's not our topic, is to create a platform that will enable both transgender and every kind of human being to coexist. That is where they are heading to. I am a scholar myself. For 3 years, I am the best Bible student in Lagos State. 2001 to 2004, I carted away the award of the best Bible school in Lagos State. And so I'm not telling you what they told me. We have read Bible over and over, tumble all of them, study those who wrote it, why they wrote it, what is their mindset, why are they continually writing it. And you see, almost everybody looks like, every quotation or translation looks like a story of bedtime. But many people do not recommend that you use King James Version. Because the old King James Version, not even the new King James Version, talks authoritatively. He tells you no painting of words. He simply says, "Thus says the Lord." Full stop. Not if you are sick and you have to steal small, don't worry, the Holy Ghost knows how to beg Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ will forgive you. And so everybody is stealing. He simply say, "Thus said the Lord, thou that stealest shall die." According to Yoruba. But they know what they are doing. But that is not where we are going to. We want our people to understand. Our fathers who understand these little things, actually in the Bible, who taught them? Because they were here and they never saw Bible. How did they know about these things? Go ahead, please.
Mazi, again, why growing up, what you said is too much. There's a lot of evil in the land. Why growing up, when we travel for December, and in our neighbor there, you might do a little bit abalist. But you give us food, we eat together, we do everything. Nobody lock himself, nobody, all the evil now. Okay, look at now what is going on in Nigeria now. The other day, Ethiopia grants referendum to their people there to decide their fate. And the Nigerian media didn't even tell any one of them in that country about the referendum.
No, they are telling you APs is indicted by FBI. FBI, they are now the indictor of Africa. Ndiushi.
Imagine. So, our people, honestly speaking, your program today, man, it touched me a lot. In short, Radio Biafra have already opened my eyes. The way I think now, reason. Any slight argument now, I quickly capture where the comment is going. Thank you for your good work you are doing for people. I want to announce my number in case any of our family, any of our brother living in the state of Indiana wish to join our family. My name is Mazi Meka. You can call me on 317-476-7702. 317-476-7702. Thank you, Mazi Onyeibe.
Of Biafra. Arise, all children of Chukwokikabiama. Arise, lovers of freedom.
IPOB, one family. All hail Biafra. Good history can hardly be forgotten by the indigenous people, and history will always repeat itself. The great women of Biafra, great. Oh yes, my people. The Association of Biafra Action Women, APAW, is here with us in London for a special anniversary and remembrance. Biafra Women Revolt, 90 years on. Theme, the cry of our mothers. Oh, what a wonderful program to attend. The cry of our mothers. The cry of our mothers. Are you a woman? Are you a true father or true mother? Do you really care for your child children? Do you truly care for the future of your family? Are you a member of the great family of the indigenous people of Biafra anywhere in the world? Are you an Ikwere woman? Ibibio, Idoma, Ejo, Igbo, Igala, Izon, Ibanke, Anan. This is a wonderful program for Biafrans all over the world. Are you a lover of freedom anywhere around the world? This program is for you, and there will be a live streaming on Biafra television. Date, 30th November 2019. Time, 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. Venue, Lotus Club, number 16 Bureau Road, Woolwich, London. SE187LH. It is time we cry out loud to the world. It is time the great women of Biafra stand up for the future of their sons and daughters. It is time our fathers said no, Biafra or nothing more. Organized by the Association of Biafra Women, IPOB UK, under the leadership of Mazi and Kanu. Signed, Lola Veronica Ijoma, the woman leader. This information is coming to you from the level of all state media, as directed by Lola Obi Mboma, Ikemwajiako, announcing.
Of course, our people must remain focused, for in the end we are going home. Begin to consider the adage, the proverb. How did our ancestors get the wisdom to give all those? Caller on the line.
Hello?
Good evening from here.
Hello, Mazi Onyeibe.
Good evening from here.
I'm still on the line, sir.
Go ahead,
so
please.
As I was saying before, during those days, for instance, if we are in this monthly period, we will not come here where our father's food is for that 7 days. We will not come there because number one, that thing, that monthly period, as my father told me, it's not a hidden, no. As he told me that if a man eats a food that a woman that is in monthly period cook, that woman will die or the man's life will be shortened. That is number one. So we maintain it. If you are a girl and you are in your monthly period or his wife, you will not come near his cooking. He will do the cooking by himself until after the monthly period. So another thing is about this perversion of removing this is from land. In those days, we used to demarcate land from from others. We call it obirisi. So if you use that obirisi, if you ever see that obirisi, we know that this is a boundary. It is boundary, and nobody will come near it. But today now, people are doing it, and there was a man that removed that this was a thing by removing that boundary. This thing happened in our city, and the man did not last up to. It's not up to 4 months or 5 months. The man just gave up. I asked them what happened. They said he removed boundary between land boundary. So this thing is working. The people that call themselves Christians, they don't know about all these things. It is Old Testament. What is old and what is new? When God created the heaven and earth, He said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And we are making use of that light up to date. The land have not changed. Heaven have not changed. So we are the people that change the word of our heavenly Father, and that's why we are into problem and difficulties and all manners of things that's happening to us now. Another thing, if you meet an more person and you tell that person, please, for instance, I know that this thing does not belong to me, and I will tell more person to come and bear with me that this thing it belongs to me, and it's not for just person. What the more person will tell you that heaven will kill me and earth will kill me. And see that person, either man or woman, the person will stand with barefoot on the ground, swearing that on the earth, above him or her, saying that land will kill him or the earth will kill him. So you see, those people, they are Almighty Father more than we that call ourselves Christian or whatsoever. So I'm encouraging all my brethren, all my Biafra brethren, to let us all go back to our roots, because it's very, very important. Without going back to our roots, there is no doubt for us. We will not make it here on earth. And for instance now, I will not say I'm not a Christian and I'm not even a Judean, I'm a Bromonyo or Gomo. But if you want to say the truth about this thing, you will just remove I will remove my slippers and say that this is how this thing is. And if you want me to provide the judgment, I will just leave you and go. Because does that let your yes be yes and let your no be no. But Mazi Onyeibe, there's something I want to ask you about this. What you say about this Star of David? You know, there was a sitting there. I enter one place, and that man happened to be an Oboni man. So when I enter his chamber, I saw something draw a circle on his obi, and inside that circle was that Star of David. So I don't know what that means. What that thing means. That's what I want to tell you. Is that different from this star you are talking about?
If you notice, I made it clear at the beginning of this study that the Star of David have different implication to different religion, and people all over the world have different reason why they use it. But it was from us. And what it simply means in our land is what it means in our land. Now, it is first of all for you to know the culture of your ancestors. And then if you choose to add another one, it's your business. But know who you are, know thyself. Most of these people can be Muslim, they can be Christian, they can be Ogomo, they can be anything. But they know themselves. It is like most of us now who answer English name. Add so we can be able to. But you know that inside of you, you know your father's name. Yes. These people know who they are. But they choose to betray the confidence, or for some reason, they choose to behave the way they are behaving. But they know who they are. It is either the symbol of David, or it's not the symbol of David as it is referred to. So it doesn't matter what they did to change it. That is what I will tell you in that aspect. As far as it concerns us as a people, it is an instrument or a symbol to install sanity, discipline, preserve culture of our people. It is a president that God is with us. This is the word of God written in our heart.
Yes.
And so whenever we read it, we know God is with us. It's like a full animal, Muslim carrying talisman. They feel it gives them power to knock and to do anything they want to do. And so that is it now.
All right.
Thank you very much.
So my dear brother, I want to encourage all my Biafran brothers, please. There is these people that always say that what the struggle we are into does not concern them. When you ask them, tell them about Biafra, they will tell you, does Biafra exist, or will that come to fulfillment? So we keep on encouraging them. So I'm telling all my people, please, to rise up, because me and our kita have ego genuine ego and our kita have on even Sakasianya. Up go ego Sakasianya. Look every place you can get Biafra land. Even all the lungu place. We are now monitor our in and out. So taking a just no that if not one move no. You know not choke. On your one on your not choke. Biafrans. Mibibo get up from your slumber and join the struggle. Get up from your slumber and join the struggle.
Thank you very much. We must continue.
So may God continue to protect and guide you. In the mighty name of Yahushua HaMashiach.
You see. Are you there, caller on WhatsApp? Are you still there?
Yeah. Yes, Mazi, George, Onyeibe. Good evening.
From here. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I wish to thank you on this evening's program on Back to Our Roots. This topic is very, very interesting. And when you were talking, you talked about boundary in our land that normally is trees that we used to know boundaries between villages and towns. Just like my grandmother told me one story about, not a story, something that happened when her father was dragging land with the next neighboring village. So they now moved to Igwekala, and they were told when they reached there that the boundary is in an orji tree, that if they go there, where they see where cocoyam is growing on top of an orji tree is where our village and the next village have their boundary. So they now go back and the problem was settled and everything stopped. So what you said today is it reminded me of what my grandmother told me. So I said this teaching is very, very interesting and I loved it.
Thank you. So
Mazi Onyeibe, I wish to say may God bless you. And I wish to use this, I wish to encourage our fellow Biafrans who are not IPOB members, who just listen to Radio Biafra and digest it, assimilate it, and go and sleep. It's not only about listening to Radio Biafra. We listen to it, and we try to join IPOB, because IPOB and Biafra Restoration is not about listening to the radio. We need to do the groundwork and every other things that are needed.
Thank you very much. We must continue. And then, before we draw the curtain for this segment, I want to tell us something. This is a personal testimony. You see, we have adage, we have proverb, we have idioms. We communicate in a direct way. These are things we learned from our ancestors. Many of us today don't even know how to make use of proverb or adage. And now I remember as a younger person, back then, as a child, I was actually forming into the man that I will be today. And I have become too strong for my father to control. You have no idea. And it was useless trying to beat us up again. We've passed that stage. And it is left between us and our Creator. And so I started growing with a group of boys in my community. And do you know what we were going to learn how to do then? How to smoke in their hem. I don't claim to be an angel, but we tell you what is obtainable and what is the truth. And so in the evening like this, about 5 of us, We will stroll to where they sell Indian hemp. For your information, Igbo. We go and buy Igbo. And we go to the next uncompleted building. We smoke the Igbo. The first day, I came back home. As I was coming back, I bought Fanta. I bought Chin Chin. I bought Tom Tom. I bought Suya. There is nothing I didn't buy. I came home, I made eba, I made akpu, I brought a goosey soup, I brought rice, everything, I put them on top of bed. I was testing Fanta and Sprite differently, on top of bed. My father came to my room, he opened my door, he looked at me, and he said to me, Yahu ije, ijonya jiongwe, Yahu ijonya jiongwe, Yahu ijonya jiongwe. And he jammed the door. I slept that night and I woke up. All the items, food I bought, I couldn't eat anyone. They poured on my bed and I messed it up. And the next morning we chatted over it. It was fun. We moved ahead. The second day, my father still came to my room and spoke those words. Yahui Jonya Jiongwe, Yahui Jonya Jiongwe, and he left. He was not beating me, because he don't want to beat me. But that time, beating doesn't work any longer. And having said this to me 3 times, something came alive in me. I knew it's not my style. Igbo is not my style. If I stay where they smoke Igbo today, they will use chain to carry me home. Because my brain can't hold it. I can't take it. But you know, because of peers, friends, it was actually time for it. If my father proverb was not there to guide me home, only God knows what will happen. But let me tell you, give you a testimony. Out of 4 of us that were involved in that act, 1 of them is mad till today as we speak. The other one is a guy man. He was not actually being part of it. But it was like making fun out of all of us. It's fine. The third one, as I talk to you, he went mad. The parents took him to London. He's in London today. I know he's doing well because we lost contact. I was one of the second person that survived perfectly because the parable my father gave to me led me back home. And it simply means, you see the journey where person send himself, make you no wait for anybody to tell and welcome. That journey where you send yourself, no wait for anybody to tell you welcome. If they tell you welcome, it's all for your benefit. But do we still know parable? You be sincere as a father. Do you know how to talk to your children in parable? And sometimes those parables, he dig deeper into their soul than any words that can be uttered by you. It makes more sense and bring meaning into their life than any quotation of any philosopher that have ever walked on this earth. But I wish you will understand that all the secrets of these words are embedded. They are hidden in that very principle, in that very system called the Star of David.
All the Biafrans should stand up, rise up for your freedom.
It's the freedom song.
Freedom song. And together we save our land.
You know.
Freedom song. And together we save our land.
Yeah. For more religion.
Are you an IPO member?
Are you a Biafran?
Or are you a lover of freedom?
Here is the good news for you.
IPOB is creating a forum to unite all Biafran recording artists
who has recorded a song or an album concerning the restoration of Biafra.
Just send your WhatsApp number to
+2 3490
392 592 11 for you to join.
Again, the number is +2 3490 3925 9211. All hail Biafra.
Biafra, we
hail you.
Yes, of course, this is where we will be drawing the curtain for this segment. If you are a Biafra musician, you have sung any song, you have released any album or produced any album regarding this restoration project, please send your WhatsApp number to the number that I've just been mentioned now, and they will follow you up from there. IPOB wants to know who sang all the music we play. We want to know all of you, inclusive of the producers. Of course, we must go back to our roots, because it's going to do so much good for us as a people. Not just today, but even tomorrow and until the end of time. I will be signing off temporarily. Believe me, I will be back in no time.
I wanna talk about a man who loves Biafra. I wanna talk about a man who is a hero. I wanna talk about a man who has Biafra at heart. Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, I can see you, you are a God sent. Nnamdi Kanu, you are a hero to our world. You made a footstep, you are a great man. You did a great work, you made a full speech, you are a great man. Oh, double keep Nnamdi Kanu, you are the one. You read history like a man. Nnamdi Kanu, you are the one. You broke history like a man. Nnamdi Kanu, you are the one we are talking about. You are the hero of our land. You made us to understand the history of the world. You made us to understand you are leader. I want to know you. You are a strong man. I want to know you. You are a strong man. One man's sport over all. One man's sport all over the world. Biafra man, the lion who is in the Zion. Nnamdi Kanu, you are the one. When I hear your voice, it makes me stronger. Yeah. When I hear your voice, I see the enemies trembling. Yeah. When I hear your voice, I see the Biafran stronger. The people in the Zion, everybody raise your hands for the hero. Hey, Nnamdi Kanu, you are a God sent to a land. You set the trap, the zoo for inside it. You set the trap, you had emotion. You raise your voice, yeah, you say it so strong. Hey, when you speak out loud, the outside is confused. The Yoruba man is confused. The zoo is in confusion. You are a true Biafran fan. When I look at you, I see the maker you. Nnamdi Kanu, I see the spirit of Biafra in you. Move on, move on, move on. We are right beside you. We are in your left and your right and your back and your front. We are with you, our brother. Cause you make us stronger. Have you seen a Biafra? Seen a Biafra man. The true son of Biafra. He is a true hero. Speaking to the nations, America stood up, Europe stood up, Asia stood up, Africa they are standing. Everybody is standing a man of true passion. Odogu, Jebenil. Odogu, Jebenil. Odogu, Jebenil. There is no more going back. We are here to stay. No more challenge, no more debate with facts and figure. They are destroyed. I can see the Hausa man cannot stand again. I can see the Yoruba man, he cannot stand again. You separated the seed from the chaff. Nnamdi Kanu, you are the one. IPOB, they salute you. We salute the hero. We salute the hero. Biafrans round the world. It is time for our freedom. I said this is our season. This is our time. Freedom, freedom, freedom to Biafra. Freedom, freedom, freedom,
Land of the rising sun, John Lavine, my originality. Land of the rising sun, Biafra. Land of the rising sun, Biafra. My home, my fatherland, Biafra. Land of the rising sun, Biafra. My home, my fatherland. We are children of the Most High, called by the name of God, the Creator. Wise men from the east, south, and the middle, great Biafran people. We're taking it to idol worship and we lost the faith of our God. And as we wallowed in idol worship, the British entered in, trading on the Niger, exploiting Jah people, trading me by butter. You give me palm oil and take soup. So them enter there. I brought in civilization, brought in your religion, and told us about America, and we embraced it. I never knew them got ulterior motive. With religion splitted us amongst our brethren, with denomination teared us apart. Building churches, schools and hospitals, we never knew we had to pay this much to be your place forever. Oh, nah. So we fought so hard against them systems, fighting against them schism. We fought so hard against them systems, fighting against them schism. But our lives have gone war. At the very spot we left our America. Now is the time to be restored. Great Biafra be restored. I want freedom for my people. Freedom for Biafra. Biafra, land of the rising sun. Land of the rising sun. Biafra, my home, my father. The descendants of Abraham. Biafra, from Father Isaac. Descendants of Jacob. Biafra is a reality. My fatherland. My originality.
Why are you people lying? Why don't you tell them they want an independent Biafra? Oh, they're fighting for their freedom. So we owe everything to Chukwuka Biama who asked us to come. Not by our own might, nor power, nor will, but by the grace of the Most High.
Back in 1914, amalgamation, colonial masters, criminal masters, a mercenary soldier named Frederick Lugar brought together all them captives, including Jah people, them Yorubas and them Ariwas, and so many other people called us Nigeria, Niger area. Oh, Nigeria, people with different religion, different beliefs, yeah, different in culture and tradition, different language, different in everything, overstanding on the reason forced to coexist together. Hidden plant of confusion, describe it as oil and the water that can never mix. Planted the cabals, them representatives here in Nigeria, looting all our treasures, colonial external marginalization of them Biafras. Now is the time for manifestation. Now is the time to be restored. Great Biafra be restored. I want freedom for my people. Freedom for Biafra. Ayoy, Biafra, land of the rising sun. Biafra, my home, my fatherland, my fatherland. Biafra, land of the rising sun. Land of the rising sun. Biafra, my home, my fatherland, my originality. Biafra, land of the rising sun. Land of the rising sun.
Yes, once again, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom, men and women of goodwill, conscious people, wherever you are all over the world, I will say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. This is still Radio Biafra Extra, and we are streaming live through Radio Biafra London. Radio Biafra London is being anchored by the deputy leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. His name is Mazi Ukafomefo. He is from Abatete. Abatete is in Anambra State, and Anambra State is Biafra land. He's the man who had assured us that he will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption. Mazi Ukafomefo is standing on a deputizing capacity on behalf of our supreme leader, Mazi Nandi Okukano, the Prince of Afari Beku, heir to the throne of Ibeku Kingdom, the one and the only man that commands the loyalty of the Biafran people. Nobody, for almost 60 years now and still counting, nobody have been able to step forward to speak for the collective interests of the Biafran people until he came. He is from Afari Beku. Afari Beku is in Umuahia. Umuahia is in Abia State. And Abia State is Biafra land. By the special grace of Chukwuka Gabiam, I remain George Onyeibe. I am from Abo. Abo is in Delta State. And Delta State is Biafra land. And of course, we must proceed to acknowledge the Creator, Chukwuka Gabiam, the one who sits in heaven, and preside over the affair of man, for he is the lifting up of our head. For we do not lift up to the hills nor mountain for help, but we lift up our eyes to he who made the heavens and the earth. And in my humble way, I will say to him, Anye na jage mao, nihi na imara mai, ihunanya ene nage. Ubiomage ojuru anyanya dadio emakwa n'inwe gị mgbanwe ọ dị onye dịka gị ebu Alpha na Omega anyị niile na-asị na n'ịdị mma onye dịka gị onye dịka gị onye dịka Chukwu Chineke ọ dị onye dịka gị onye dịka gị obi n'igwe onye dịka gị onye dịka dadi Chineke ọ dị onye dịka gị ịma na sị na anyị na-eme mma eze masị na anyị na-agwọ ọrịa dadi masị na anyị na-enye ike chimo wee bịara bụrụ eziokwu Chukwu dị mma ịdị mma agbanwe ịdị mma olileanya ndị nsọ na-ịdị mma eze onye nwe m na-ịdị mma ịmakwa na oge nleleanya n'eluigwe dadi ebe ahụ nwe na-achị achị ewe mfo Chukwu na-ịdị mma n'ezie onye nwe anyị na-ịdị mma anyị na-aja gị mma n'eziokwu n'ịbụ sọ mma ịhụnanya anyị na gị obiọma gị o juru anya dadi inwe gị mgbanwe ọ dịghị onye dịka gị ịbụ Alpha na Omega anyị niile na-asị na n'ịdị mma And of course, without wasting much of our time, I welcome you once again. We shall be going to our topic this evening, which is simply the personality profile. You know, we are in a period where we have to reevaluate, remember, reconsider what has happened to us in time past. Like I said, our topic this evening is the personality profile. Personality profile. I enjoy this topic when it is being presented by one radio station in the zoo called Nigeria. They call them Nigeria Info. And of course, the moment they add Nigerian to their name, you should be assured or understand that you solely lie you get there. Nigeria Info, they give you personality flow profile. You go there and listen to personality profile of Nnamdi Azikiwe. we hear he was born in heaven, he schooled in Toronto, in Manchester, he was very patriotic Nigeria, he was loving, he built River Niger. There is no lie you will not hear about that. But the truth remains that at the end of the day, everybody must answer their father's name. There is no two ways about it. You cannot, in fact, it is as simple as that. In our very lifetime, we have seen mothers and children being murdered for no just crime. And we remember them. We remember the person who have actually made up their mind that they will be killed. You gave the order, and the chimpanzees carry out the order. Obasanjo knew what I'm saying. Obasanjo actually told the Uputa panel that as a soldier who was obeying the last order, he has to rape Asaba women. As a soldier obeying the last order, he has to demolish Odi. As a soldier obeying the last order, he has to make sure Biafrans are murdered. You people gave the order, the lack of Babangida. You people gave the order, the lack of late Buhari. You people gave the order, Tiwa Danjuma. You people gave the order. We can go on remembering Yakubu, the head of them all. We will never forget you. Your profile is before our eyes. And those who carried out this order, we are assembling all of you. Like I said, and so when we sit back, we analyze all of you. We understand where you are coming from. We can only see the reason why we must continue doing what we are doing, or else your children will do to our children worse than you have done to us. Because the last time I checked, we have suffered more than our father. But it will end with us. Make no mistake about that. That is why we are IPOB. That is why we are Biafran. For in the end, the world will testify about us. But a lot of things has happened that many of us don't know. You hear the names of these people, you don't know who they are. You certainly cannot know who they truly are. Because if you go to Cyclopedia, any search engine now, go to Google and ask them about anybody or anything about the zoo called Nigeria, the British zoo called Nigeria, you will see at the end of every information they will give to you, it is Yoruba people who are writing our history for us. And this is not acceptable. And so this evening, let us take a little more time and look at into personality profile of certain individual, what they have done, good or bad. We shall tell the story of how we overcome one day. You need to know who they are. All of a sudden, hate speech, hate speech, hate speech, hate speech. They want to stop IPOB. But of course, in the nearest future, we will talk about Facebook, Zugabyte. Believe me, in as much as the owner of Facebook, Zugabyte, he has collected money from the zoo called Nigeria to undermine what we are doing as Biafrans. That is a loyal servant, I must tell you. Very loyal to the zoo called Nigeria. He is doing his job. We will read his personality profile when the time will come. And so this evening, we are going to look at some persons, individuals. You don't know who they are. Nigeria will never remember them. They don't even want to talk about them. Because they don't want you to believe that those people exist. And I want you to go home with something at the end of this broadcast. For you to understand that anything you are doing today, people will tell the story when you are not there. People will talk about you. I never knew our leader, Mazi Nandekano. But he has a past and he has a future. And everything he has done in his past, they would have haunted him today if his hands was not clean. But believe me, when God prepare you for a great mission, he don't allow you to soil your life, to mess up your life. He always guide you. And every mistake you make becomes an example for others to follow. And they will appreciate you for that. That is the Creator working. We will talk about them. We will talk about Mazi Mefo. We will talk about every IPOB member that has worked. We will talk about all of you. And this should also call us to begin to re-examine and re-evaluate our stand where we say we're IPOBians. Is that how they call it? You should begin to reevaluate yourself, because people who are not yet born today will tell the story of everything we have done. If you have this mindset, you should be very careful. You should be very careful. You see, my father said to me, when you want to open the eye of a blind man, you must consider three things first of all. Because the moment you open their eyes, these things will hurt you. Find out their mindset before they went blind. Find out what they were thinking throughout the period they were blind. And then be very careful of the first thing they see. Because these three things will form the basis of the judgment and how they will react against you. And that is why Nigerians haven't taught us hate speech. Want to do law of hate speech. It doesn't work. It won't work. Because every bullet they shoot will kill them first of all. And that is why when we come, we tell you this is what we represent. And may God help us to represent what we represent. Because outside that, we never resisted. Nigerian has no memory and nothing to talk about them other than they loot, they are criminals, they are thieves, and above all, they are idiots. Idiot is a name of animal. And this animal can only be in the zoo. And so it's all the same anyway. And so we have to take time and analyze it. Let's take a little fresh air. BBC, CNN should help us promote hate speech bill of hanging. These people are useless. You know, all of a sudden they just wake up in the morning and say, oh, we are going to hang all of them. They're using hate speech. But they do not consider their hate actions. That Operation Show of Muzzle in Biafra land is a hate action. Operation Checking Point in Biafra land is a hate action. Operation Close Down Seaport in Biafra land is a hate action. Operation Shut Down Enugu Airport and no international airport, no airport whatsoever in southeast of Biafra land is a hate action. Operation We Manufacture Oil and you take it to London and you sell it back to us is a hate action. There are some things you people think you can hide, but you're from your mouth, the Creator have declared judgment for all of you. So when we say personality profile, people must fasten their seatbelt and get ready, because so much to see, so much to talk about. And maybe you should listen to this. Maybe you should listen to it. You may be able to learn one or two things anyway.
Themselves, they don't even own the natural resources in their countries any longer. I'll give you an idea. I'll give you an instance. In 1974, Nigeria was the third largest oil-producing nation in the world. Today, Nigeria does not own its own oil reserves, which is still the third largest in the world, but BP and Shell and Exxon owns all the rights of the oil in Nigeria. They take the oil out of it, and after that they sell it back to the Nigerian government. Themselves, they don't even own the natural resources in their countries any longer. I'll give you an idea. I'll give you an instance. In 1974, Nigeria was the third largest oil-producing nation in the world. Today, Nigeria does not own its own oil reserves, which is still the third largest in the world, but BP and Shell and Exxon owns all the rights of the oil in Nigeria. They take the oil out of it, and after that they sell it back to the Nigerian government. Themselves, they don't even own the natural resources in their countries any longer. I'll give you an idea. I'll give you an instance. In 1974, Nigeria was the third largest oil-producing nation in the world. Today, Nigeria does not own its own oil reserves, which is still the third largest in the world, but BP and Shell and Exxon owns all the rights of the oil in Nigeria. They take the oil out of it, and after that they sell it back to the Nigerian government.
And now, maybe you begin to understand what hate action is. Nigeria owns the third largest oil producing company or zoo in the world. But more than 50 years later, Nigeria still remain the third largest, as they said, let's go by that. But today, Nigerians don't have oil reserve. Then Shell, Chevron, Eni, Saipem, all the oil companies in the world, they have their headquarters in Nigeria. They steal this oil, they take it to their land, they return it, they sell it for us. Hate action. It doesn't bother them. Nigerians are living below abject poverty level. It doesn't bother them. There is no electricity in Nigeria. It doesn't bother them. There is no medical facility in Nigeria. It doesn't bother them. There is no good road. It doesn't bother them. There is no airport. It doesn't bother them. Educational facility is done. It doesn't bother them. These are hate action. It doesn't bother FBI. It doesn't bother Theresa May, Rola Lady Dan, Margaret Thatcher, Peter Buota. It doesn't bother High Commissioner nor Okra. It doesn't bother Facebook. All this hate action doesn't bother any of you. But you know, we have to say it is the hate speech. That is what bothers all of you. May Amadioha have mercy upon all of you. It's a hate speech. Hate speech. But let's go back to the history. And so our people will begin to appreciate what Mazi and Kanu have been doing here. And of course, what IPOB have been doing. Because most of you don't understand. Oh, our one Nigeria, we are the intellectual of one Nigeria. You are idiot. You should be ashamed of yourself. You know, we the intellectual of one Nigeria, we the lawmakers, we the Ndioshi. But let's find out who some of them are. Understand, anything you are doing today, we are keeping your record. Let's go to personality profile. Because our people must know the truth. And understand how to be able to navigate their way forward after today. In every civilization, in every culture, there have always been men and women who stood up and fought to either preserve, to defend, or to destroy their own people. They are always there. You see, America to be where they are today, it's not because they have intellectuals, scientists, engineers, and so forth. But because there were somebody around them who threatened them with their greatness. And that is Russia. USSR as they called them then. I've had access to a documentary program known as How We Got Here. The Soviet Union were doing everything possible. And America was afraid. If we allow Soviet Union to go ahead of us, and then the world is in trouble. And so when Soviet Union, Russia go to space, American go to space. When they go to moon, American go to moon. When they produce plane, American produce plane. When they produce robot, American produce robot. When they produce Boko Haram, American produce Boko Haram. That is how they got there. Most of you don't know. And so, in every civilization, before Russia fell, America didn't conquer Russia. But somebody from Russia showed USSR to America. Intelligent. He sold out his people. Though he died at the end of the day. His story is written. To the Americans, he may be a hero, but he remained a saboteur because he betrayed his people. Though there is no more Russian or Soviet Union, their own evil has touched heaven. That is why God pieces them. But they remain a curse before them. This is personality profile, you must understand. Men and women in different time and dispensation stood either to destroy or to preserve their culture, the civilization of their people. Some even go to the extent to bastardize their own blood lineage. But we are here to correct those mistakes. And to do that, we'll start from somewhere. Let us remember them so that whatever we do today, you may be rest assured that people will remember us. People will remember you. Be very careful, because what they will remember will always be in line with your action. Today, I'm an IPOB. I'm talking of myself. And believe me, I had a voice on the radio. The voice calling for freedom. The voice speaking for defenseless people like me. The voice speaking for aggrieved people like me. The voice calming down people like me. Because we're actually looking for a way to burn this zoo. But then we heard the voice. And then we followed. And then we are here today. We can only make sure that the very principle that govern this struggle is what we live by. Because people will talk about us. Whether we are there or we are not there. Friends and enemy will talk about us. But understand, nobody can lie against you, then it will land. Let's go back to the Bible a little bit. Watch all the patrons of faith, heroes of faith in the Bible. All of them served God a different level of magnitude as the case may be. But let me tell you, there are few of them that are standing. Let's look at Samuel. Samuel had 2 children, Hophni and Phinehas, who actually were opposite of their father. Samuel couldn't stand the sight of his children when he was old as an old man. During the time where Eli the priest was serving in the temple of Jerusalem, the sons of Eli and that of Samuel was a menace to the people of Israel. But Samuel knew the truth. As a man of integrity, he couldn't handle the mantle of office, the leadership of Israel to his children. Because they understood one truth. These are the people of God. Everybody will have to answer for himself. And Samuel gathered the people and said, I have failed. I'm a terrible father. The same thing was the case of Eli. But they didn't want this nonsense to continue after they are gone. Their children were not moral and as such could not lead the people of God. But then they have to clear their name. And they said to the people, and now I challenge you before God and man. I, Samuel, I am not just a kingmaker. I am a prophet. I have served Israel with every sincerity. And today, my days are numbered. For I must join my ancestors. But I do not want any of you to gossip about me when I'm gone. And so, I summon you before God and before man. If I have taken your sheep, if I have taken your cow, if I have taken anything that belongs to you, please rise up and speak. Or forever hold your peace. Nobody in Israel could challenge Prophet Samuel for any sin. He acknowledged his children were not moral. But he was Samuel and his children was his children. And he passed on. And so no matter how the enemy want to write about the story of Samuel, Samuel remained a man of integrity before the Creator. For he alone can question him. And today, be rest assured, your friends will write about you. Your enemies will write about you. But only the truth about you will stand the test of time. You are a governor in Biafra land. You are a Biafran saboteur. You are Nayangodo, Haneze Ndibu, Amayanabo of Niger Delta, whatever you call yourself. Posterity will judge all of you. The law of karma is waiting. Everything you have done today, the world will speak about it. One of the principles that guide us here in IPOB is because we understand that everything we do on this platform, they will echo into eternity. For this shall be in the lips of 1,000 generations. For our deed this day will last beyond the pyramids of Egypt. Make no mistake about that. And so we begin to consider certain people who has walked this road before us. What they saw, what they did, who they are. Maybe we can draw motivation and inspiration from them. Maybe we should curse them. Because the journey has just begun. And of course, I didn't place them on alphabetical order. But I just pick their name and let's watch them one after the other. Number 1 on my list is Mazi Ejike. Mazi Ejike was born in 1914, November 29. And he died in 1956. They call him a Nigerian nationalist. They say he's a writer. They say he's advanced from a chorister to an organist, and then a teacher in Anglican church school, and then along the line he became a student in America, and then a cultural and economics. This is Mazi Ejike. He's supposed to be from Aruchuku. Because in his time, I don't think there was anything like Abia State. There could be Abia. But he was not from Abia State. He's from Aruchuku. Whatever that place is now, anyway. I've been to his house. And then I went to Alesoti's house then. For the first time, the person that took me there said, look at this house. It belongs to Father. He called him Father Mbono Ejiki. And I said, who is the man? And he told me. Despite whatever Nigerian call him. But there are a few things I want you to know about him. He's everything they called him. These are the people that criticize the terrorists that call themselves colonial master. They tell them you can't do this. What is good for the goose is good for the ganja. It has to be this way. But let me tell you what killed him. Go and look at his history according to Yoruba. The first thing that will appear there is that he belongs to Ogboni fraternity. At that time, there is nowhere Yoruba, Hausa, Fulani can control our people. And so, there is no Biafran person, not to talk of Igbo man, that can belong to Ogboni fraternity. At that time when Mbono Ejike existed. But this is to hide, to code the mysterious death surrounding him. Now let me tell you. In 1960, having formed the zoo called Nigeria, they sent forth accountant generals. One from Biafra land, one from Arewa north, one from Oduduwa west. The three of them were the accountant general, permanent secretary, auditor, any name you want to call them. But they are the three individuals that give account of everything regarding Nigeria. But as you will always know, the Yoruba didn't go to school. The Hausa Fulani didn't go to school. He was the only educated person there. But he was an upright man. He was an upright man. Mbono Ejike. And so then they come the era of politics. The same Nnamdi Azikiwe used Nigeria money to do election. He thought he would win. He didn't win. And after he lose, they call them auditor general or accountant general, whatever name, useless name Nigerian call them. They call them, come and give us account. But Yoruba can write and cannot read. Fulani Hausa can write and cannot read. Only Mbono Ejike. He called Zeke of Africa and said, the money I lend to you to do election, you have to return it. Zeke cannot return it. But I have to tell you, it's painful. People started calling him Ejike Mbono. Please now, you can't disgrace your brother now. Please now, you cannot tell Nigeria now. Please now. Because Emakwan came a personality profile. But Mbono Ejike forever will have our respect. They told Ejike to concoct the whole account. Mbono Ejike said this is against the oath we took. Because they took oath. They took oath. Nigerians, they took oath. 3 of them took oath. And from that day, Mbono Ejike, for the sake of Nnamdi Azikiwe, presented to Nigeria the fake accounts. And after he did that, he returned home and died. He died for Nnamdi Azikiwe because he thought Nnamdi Azikiwe meant well for Igbo. But he was the best of all the Biafrans that have walked this earth. He remains my hero. He remains our hero. I don't know about you anyway. You are entitled to your opinion. Like I said, people will write about our history. Friends are enemy alike. And that is how he died. Has Nigeria ever said anything about him? No. They are telling you, oh, remember Zeke, remember Zeke, remember Zeke. This is personality profile. We will move ahead to the second on my list. The second on my list is Dele Igiwa. Like I said, I'm not following them alphabetically how they happen. Anyone I present, take it. Dele Igiwa. Dele Igiwa was born on the 16th of March, 1947. He was killed by later bomb from Badia in Lagos, in his house in Lagos in 1986. The assassination occurred 2 days after DSS visited him. You know, DSS changed their name from SSS, they are now DSS. So if I say he was killed 2 days after SSS went to interview him, what I'm saying invariably in a modern day is that he was killed 2 days after DSS went to interview him. But you go and find the personality profile of Dele Igiwa, you will think Dele Igiwa is a Yoruba man. He's not a Yoruba man. He's a Bini man. But these people were born between the boundary of Edo State and Ondo State. And of course, between the boundary of Ondo State and Edo State, you have a lot of people there. You have Iwaki people there. You have Ubojobu people there. You have Naipo people there. All these people, I'm telling you, are Abo people. And so when our leaders say the boundary of Biafra land start with that of Ondo State, we are not stupid. We just don't say anything. But we know who our people are. And this is a clarion call for those of you Benin people who think you are from Yoruba. You are not Yoruba. It was easy to cross from those states, Okada, and then you go down maybe through Owo Road or whatever road. You come out from any Yoruba. Of course, Ibadan was there as a city. A city that built saboteurs in our land. And most of us answered the Yoruba name. But they were never Yoruba. Dele Igiwa, no single Yoruba blood in Dele Igiwa. But Dele Igiwa was the founder of what was known as Newswatch. Newswatch was a platform people like, is it Siri Stiba or what they call him? All those people that say the truth. I remember in those days as a child, when Newswatch want to present their news, is this Siri Stoba or something? I can't pronounce it. Everybody focus on Newswatch because they tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Dele Igiwa was the founder and the editor general. He saw Nigeria. If Dele Igiwa was alive today, he would have made every evidence available for the world not to be able to deny the fact that the man in Aso Rock is Jubri. That was the like of Dele Igiwa. The day he was murdered was the day journalism in Nigeria was murdered and Yoruba took over the contract. But go and read his history, his biography. He looks like a Yoruba man. But I'm from Bende State. I was born and brought up in Bende State. I know every story in Bende State. All the way from Esako Ekpoma Uchiuromi, down to Robo Abraka Shekiri Patani Oli, down to Anyocha Eka, Otoropo Akomazo Were, all the nook and cranny of Bende State. You don't tell me anything. I check it with my leg. And I know my people when I see them. He was murdered. But I won't go more than that. But they present him as Yoruba. So you think Yoruba is fighting for freedom of speech and press or journalism? No. Yoruba don't have, they are chameleon in nature. They can't help it. They don't have what it takes to tell you the truth. They can be leading you to heaven, but they are not taking you to heaven. This is one truth you can be rest assured of. But it's my hero, Dele Igiwa. He died with later bomb. When DSS visited him in Lagos. Yeah, Dele Igiwa, be very careful that a treason is not proven. He said, what do you mean? This thing you are talking about, indictment, please take it easy because you can wound somebody or somebody can be wounded. He said, I don't understand. They said, okay, anyway, since you don't understand, the president sent his condolence. He said, what do you mean by condolence? They said, no, just some token, just for the family. But then really go through the letter and then respond back. He was on his dining table eating. He never knew it was a later bomb. He put it on his lap while he was eating. And the next thing was explosion. He died. Nigerians don't remember that too, because it will expose them. It is hate speech. How can you say Dele Igiwa was killed by a Nigerian president? Babangida, how can you say so? He said hate speech. He said hate speech. Then you are children. I hope you are hearing the hate speech. Yeah. But he's our hero. I think our leader in his last broadcast said we will be house for Dele Giwa. In their time, they were murdered, journalists died. It's not Yoruba. He said Biafra supposedly, I must tell you. Because these are the people who were so close to Yoruba. The same way some other people are close to Yoruba. Because in their mind, oh, we are Yoruba is taking you to heaven. You wish you never associated with them. We go to number 3. We have Chine Achebe. Chine Achebe, they say, was born a Nigerian novelist. He was a poet. He was a professor. He was a cleric. We can talk about his first novel, which is Things Fall Apart. Widely read book in modern African literature. He was born in 1967 November 1930 in Ogidi. He died in 21 March 2013 in Boston, Massachusetts, United States. Chine Achebe. Who is Chine Achebe? There is no black man that wrote like Chine Achebe. Ogidi man. Nobody. Nobody. How many of your book are you going to talk? But to tell you how these people are evil, do you know who is the Lauren Obe? It is Olon Shoyinka. Only things fall apart. If you divide things fall apart into 5, one part is bigger than all the book written by Olon Shoyinka. But yeah, Olon Shoyinka is the Lauren Obe. Not Chine Achebe. The greatest dark writer that has ever walked on earth here. Chine Achebe. Ogidi man. That time there was nothing like Anambra. But there was Ogidi. For your information, Moritola Mohammed, Moritola Mohammed, Moritola Kere Imo State, Moritola Kere Anambra State, Moritola Kere, don't forget that. Maybe it will bring you back home. But what I want you to understand about Chine Achebe is that he was the PA of Nnamdi Azikiwe. He tried his best to bring Nnamdi Azikiwe back, to no avail. But he had a secret. He knew that the current new generation Nigeria was out for one thing, to destroy us as a people. And so every secret regarding us as a people, he coded them in his book. You think he was writing because he was writing a book? He was actually preparing the ground for the next generation of people who they are. And today, the books written by Chine Achebe will only be discipled, catalogued. When I go to Things Fall Apart, and when I'm thinking about Obiareka, when I'm thinking about Ebubedike, when I'm thinking about those people there, I know what he was talking about. He was not just writing a book. He was keeping our history for us so nobody can confuse us about them. You go and read this written by Chine Achebe. Maybe you begin to have your senses back. It's my hero. I don't know about you anyway. Like I said, history, your enemy has a different perspective, and so your friends. But the truth will prevail in the end. We move ahead. Having considered Chine Achebe, we go to Samuel Onunuka Mbakwe, also known as the Sam. He was an Igbo politician, a governor of Imo State, southern Nigeria, from 1st October 1979 until 31st of December 1983. The Sam Mbakwe International Cargo Airport, located in Owerri, the state capital, was named after him. In 1981, Sam Mbakwe set up Imo State University. He was born in 1929. He died on the 6th of January 2004 in Obo War. But who is Sam Mbakwe? Whatever you have in Imo State, in Abia State, most of the industry you see that have been shut down by Fulani terrorists and the British government, here in Biafra land, these were the work of Sam Mbakwe. You know, as a child, my father was very fascinated about this man. I don't know him. In fact, my immediate younger brother was called Sam Mbakwe. That was his nickname. Because they say Sam Mbakwe is short man, a little bit plumpy. My brother is a very short man, a little bit plumpy and fair. My immediate younger brother. And so the way they praise him with Sam Mbakwe, I know Sam Mbakwe could not be any other person more than a hero. I understand Sam Mbakwe widow is still suffering today. Except some few good men will go and give her pocket money. Because how dare your husband develop Imo State? How dare your husband Sam Mbakwe develop Abia State? How dare he develop Biafra land? But if you are Sam Mbakwe, you understand your father may be dead, but he lives in our heart. The earlier you emulate your fathers, that have legacy to be proud of, the better for all of you. But he's a hero. We must continue. We look at Alex Ekweme. He has different name. The first elected vice president in Nigeria. From 1979 to 1983, before the late terrorist Buhari overthrew the first elected democratic president of the zoo called Nigeria. Unless Ekweme was the vice president. In fact, he was referred as the president that was never be. The president that was never. Or how did they put the grammar? The president that never be. That was what they call Alex Ekweme. Because they feel 79 to 83, where they try to couple Nigeria a little bit. Shagari is the dumbest idiot that has ever walked on this earth. Very idiot. I think he's still alive. The same way you hear Abacha. He's another idiot. It was the Diabo that ruled for them. These are stark illiterate. Of course, you are in Nigeria. The Britain like sending idiots to rule you. Look at your Buhari before he died. Show us your certificate. He will hire all the American lawyer and Britain lawyer to defend him. Just show us your certificate. Alex Ekweme was a honorable man. He was indicted by late Buhari. But they couldn't find anything against him. They were the people who thought they can build Nigeria. And let's say find Chukwu Ekweme. He's from Anambra State. He was born in 1932. He died in 19 November 2017 in London, United Kingdom. I don't want us to be united. But of course, I don't want to go deep. Just few points. So you go and find out who these people are. And then when you are misbehaving, whoever you are, you should know one day will come, we will tell your story. And then we have another one called Ambrose Ali. Ambrose Ali looks like almost Dele Giwa. From the same area Dele Giwa come from. Ambrose Ali is the first governor of Bende State. His name is Ambrose Ali Folorunshon. But then most of you will think he's a Yoruba. He's not a Yoruba. We share boundary with the Yoruba. It was easy for some of these people to go and think association and assimilation. Ambrose Ali, I must tell you, the mother is from Asaba region, and everything about him starts and ends in Bende State. I have searched to see Nigerian talk about him. They make this man look as if he's from Ondo State. Until I went to look at a documentary about Ambrose Ali, written by one Osunde something. And that was when I saw all the history of this man. His government of 3 years was overthrown by Buhari, the terrorist, the late Buhari. And do you know that in 2 years, Ambrose Ali built 338 secondary schools in Bende State? Between 1979 till they were overthrown. Of course, it took him 1 year to balance in office as a governor. Ambrose Ali, if Bende State went to school, you ever know anything like free education? Ambrose Ali were part of the people who did it. And so in 2 years, Ambrose Ali built 338 secondary schools in Bende State. In one state, 338. Whereas the current day governors are destroying the school they met. At least the terrorist colonial masters, as they call themselves, led school, which all of you chimpanzee governors are destroyed. But do you know that late Buhari locked up Ambrose Ali in the prison? And when they released Ambrose Ali, he was blind already. Ambrose Ali used to stay in a house not up to half a kilometer from my parents' house. Those of you who are from Abo, Ambrusali used to live inside the house. When they released Ambrusali, he was in Abo, Marere Street. The house was where he stayed. He was a blind man. Because that house in Marere Street, inside the family where he stayed, that is the house of his man. That is his maternal home. It's not Yoruba, nothing like Yoruba there. And when he died, when they released him as a blind man, he came to his sister's house and stayed there. Why did he come there? Because as a governor, he didn't build a state. He don't have any house. In fact, when he died, there was no place to bury him. Can you imagine a governor, a councillor, a senator, serving for 3 years, and they don't have a house? It's something you can't think about this day. And then the Bender stayed there, rally around and say, no, this man cannot die like this. They now built a bungalow where they buried him. He's my hero. Thank God to late Buhari, who was able to cripple all of them. But this is a personality profile they don't tell you. It will expose Nigeria for who they really are. And they are celebrating, oh, Zika, Zikiwe, oh, Nyoshina, Nyama. But of course, everybody must understand that everything you have done today, they will remember you. We go to Evan Ukoku. Evan Ukoku. Who is Evan Ukoku? You have a place they call Ikoku in River State. You have Ikoku in Imo State. Who is Evans Ikoku? He was born on August 1st, 1900. He died in November 1971. He was a Nigerian, as they say, educationalist, a statesman, an activist, and a politician. But I can tell you that Evan Ikoku simply say he fought for educational bill of rights. Is that grammar correct in modern days? He fought for educational bill of rights or right of bill. Kesarua fought for bill of rights of Oye. There are people fighting for bill of resource control, bill of oil well control. He fought for bill of rights, educational bill of rights. What does it mean? He was the one that implemented the policy or the constitution or the bylaw or any jargon name they will call it and said, no, the people of Nigeria should have access to free education. I, as a person, I must tell you, I started paying school fees almost towards the end of my secondary school. And so from primary school to wherever, I didn't pay school fees. It was free education. I remember the first school fees I paid was 47 naira. It was so painful. My parents was like, how can we be paying school fees? How can then it was, what do they call that bank? New Nigerian Bank is what they call it. New Nigerian Bank. That was where I went to. It's no longer in existence anyway. I went to pay my fees, 47 naira. Then, it was free education. This is the handwork of FF and Ikoku, among others. Do not think these men did all these things by just, writing petition. They risk their life themselves. It is like tomorrow, when people will talk about what Mazi and the Kano have done. To some generation yet unborn, they will think we were just telling story. When we come here, we say, Mazi Mefo say, I will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption. We keep repeating it. Some people say it's just to make a declaration. There is more beneath that the eye can see. For there is a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. But of course, we must continue. Personality profile. We go ahead and look at people like Iyo Eta. People like Alamesie. Alamesie is there today. The Bayelsa people don't know what he did for them. Everything Dixon and all of them are enjoying, including good luck. Alamesie did it. His son was first killed in Dubai. And the British government helped them to mesmerize them. But at least at this moment, whatever Bayelsa is, Alamesie is your hero. Your one and only hero. For when other people die, we will know what they have done for you. Are we going to go and talk about people like Onyeibe Ojukwu? Are we going to talk about people like Ifa Jonah? Will time permit us to talk about people like Akanebiam, the rugged young boy? Akanebiam, The guy they named after Enugu local airport, not international airport anyway. The one who took all his degree, returned it to terrorists, the Izame family, and demand justice for the people of Biafra. Are we going to talk about women riot? That should be an eye-opener to all of us. These people, 3 of them, they congregate around themselves. And they said no. Her husbands cannot be dehumanized, and we are still going through the same thing. One of the women was from Bende in Abia State today. Another one was from Cross River State. And then another one from Imo State. That was when women were women. But I'm happy Biafran women are rising again. 55 of them were shot by British government. 55 of our mother faced terrorists in the face. They had gun, beat men up. 55 of them died. One Cross River State woman, one Bende woman, one Imo State woman, and then you have the Bibio, you have the Efik, you have the Andoni, you have the Oko, you have the Jo, you have every woman who is a Biafra woman. All of them gathered. March from Calabar to Bende, from Bende to Imo. They demanded for one thing, right to self-determination. And British government, as hopeless and useless as they are, they opened fire and killed 55 of them. But why are you saying it is hate speech? It's hate speech. But what about Ifajona? We would have been very proud of him, but very little left about him. The first gold medalist, black man to win more than one gold medalist. It shouldn't be about 3 or 5 of gold medalists in one Olympic game. That zoo, Colossian, they used to distract you people and keep you remain sleeping. Ifajona, he sold out to Jukwame. They handed over to him as a general somewhere in Shagamu. He went to Ibadan to romance Yoruba woman and abandoned those people there. He came back when he saw Enugu has failed. He came to Mokojuku. And so when you hear our ancestors sing, Ewo muna wane mjenaga abiriego Ifajona relani. Ewo muna wane mjenaga mwana putoro zore mwane yao mwana putoro zore mwane yao. Angemeria wusa ndena mara chuku tigwe ya zobuwa nihi ewo. Angemeria wusa ndena mara chuku tigwe wa zobuwa nihi. Whatever the case may be, we will remember you. So up your game. You are building Bakassi to stop IPOB in this our land. Up your game. You are bringing Fulani to terrorize us in order to pave way for Luga. Up your way. You that is selling land in Anambra, you are arresting our people. We are documenting your stupidity. Up your game. You anywhere in the world, working with Nigerian embassy, you want to undermine our decision. Up your game. We are keeping your record. But don't forget, oh you simple Biafran men. Don't forget, oh you simple Biafran innocent women. Biafra is our only hope. I'll be back in a minute.
Biafra is our only home. It is our only home. From the rising of the sun to the going of the same, we must fight till the end to restore our motherland. Oh, Biafra is our only home. Is our only hope, Biafra. We must always strive to do what we have to do to restore Biafra back, hope of our children. Oh, Biafra is our only home. Is our only hope, Biafra. From the
Biafra is our home and our only hope. Of course, at this moment, our lines are open. You are Biafran anywhere in the world. This rain will follow. Wekwa agwọnụ tehin ụra na-eke fele onwe ndị omeni wagbakwa dabe moche rasu oyibo rasu bekee onwekwa ihu biri enyi enrarị ọnụ ebe ọrụ nụrụle tehin ụra na-eke fele o tere ndị niile ejichi anya kpatụ maka saa enye jikọ ike ekwu okwu maka ndị wenyi so onye jike ekwu okwu ọfa ọnụ kwu eji ekwu okwu enyekwa agwa ọnụ ebe ahụ asa nyiri ekwu okwu enyi ekwu okwu kwademe niile oke zuo ije lu ya ka ọ na-asa ịda agwa ọnụ kwademe onye makwe na-asụ na ya asụ n'ime odo onye amala n'ikwe na-asụ na ya asụ makpakale oge lala onye ọla ka Jizef na-eje omenu onye ọla rero na-eka agbachi nkịtị ndị Awụsa le ndị Fulani le ndị Yoruba rejichi anya kpatụ maka saa ụnụ rara anyị ụra ndị manya ratụ ụnụ n'ike ọha enye ọnụ. Of course, you have to look for the IPOB closer to you and join. Look for IPOB family closer to you and join. Send us your name, your data, your location, and the nearest coordinator will join you. We will take our life back because it has been taken from us. We want our land back. Believe me, we are evil. We love the evil. Let us remain evil. How should it be your problem? When we kill themselves, if you let them go. But this is exactly what we want. Allow us to kill ourselves. Kill us in it. And of course, our WhatsApp line is simple 07081545642. All inquiries to our WhatsApp line. And of course, the principal officer assigned to attend to you are waiting for you already. 07081545642 is the WhatsApp line. Our direct line is 081221 52971. Our direct line again is 081221 52971. And the special number for the female is 081 288 58614. Special number for the female is 081 288 58614. Call on WhatsApp, are you there? Call on WhatsApp, are you there?
Good
evening from here. Go ahead, please.
My name is Ifani Ijoma. I'm calling you right now from Onitsha. Precisely. Onyeibe, I weep. I'm not happy anymore because of the way we are suffering in this country. The country zoo called Nigeria. I was written with that number out in Nigeria, and I can never be a Nigerian because my father fought the war. What makes my father to fight the war is simple because my father is not a Nigerian. He's a Biafra man. So me now coming up and they say that I'm not a Nigerian. It's not by mistake. That is the fact. Mazi Onyeibe, I don't have much to say this night. But that is sure that we must go home, whether devil like it or not, whether Nigeria community like it or not, whether our ancestors, whether in short, whatever they did, whether Britain like it. I'm telling to Britain, I'm talking to them. Britain is evil, and that evil will swallow them, whether they like it or not. We must go home. We must go home. I thank God for this, our dread man, without Mazi without IPOB. Fulani herdsmen would have used us to do pursuit. Nobody will talk about us, and nobody is there to defend us. Without our Onyeibe, Ahmadi Mazi. In fact, Mazi Onyeibe, I'm weeping as you are talking this night. I'm weeping, Betty. There's no problem. We must go home. Biafra or death.
Thank you very much. Our people must understand this truth. Some people have laid down their life, maybe in a very small way, but we will never forget them. We will never forget them. Everything you are doing today, we will never forget you. We will remember your children. We will remember them. For whatever you have done, you shall be remembered. Are you there? Call on the line. Call on the line. Are you there? And when I pick your call, I will expect that you stop listening to your radio and then you go ahead and air your view. there is always a distance between you and me in terms of communication. So once your call picks, keep on saying, if you're not talking, I will tell you. Are you there, caller on the line? Yes, good evening from here. Go ahead, please. Of course, that is the same thing that I said. Are you there, caller on WhatsApp?
Yes.
Good evening. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, my brother. My name is Mazi Almoka, calling from Nasarawa State, Mazi Onyeibe. God will bless you. Ototo and Abani. There for this our station. Just they give us many hope. Give us every morning, every night, give us strength. Then God will bless you. God will bless your family. God will bless our leader Namikano. God will bless you to my brother. God. Like I see, this is our last caller now. Every day, if I dey listen for you, I listen for you this evening. You talk about Yoruba church, my brother. Everything you talk everything is truth because those people, Yoruba and the Fulani and Hausa, they just use us on our brain. My brother just sometimes go to church. Nobody can speak our language again. No everything English. Nobody teach us how to speak our language without Radio Biafra. Us na zero. Without Nnamdi Kanu. South is zero. My brother, my Nnamdi make me. Today, I know everything. I know how much I respect for this Izu country. Every year to Banza. Nnamdi make us stop everything. But Chukwu Abiyama bless you. My brother, I see where I been now. Where are over there for this Nasarawa Zoo country, my brother. If you see what they happen here everywhere, my brother, nobody talk about good of Nigeria again. Nobody talk about good of Nigeria. Some slave wanna Benue man, a graduate last year. He talk about Buhari, he talk about Biafra, he say what did Biafra? Because they listen to my Biafra ready for my shop. Yesterday the man come and show say yes. Say that's what they say. I feel like I don't go school. You go school, we know anything. Yesterday come and show say yes. Every day they say that now you don't see international truth. My brother, which I go tell you now, God control the bless man. You don't know this I mean I get meruno. But you go get my gozono.
And you too.
This is my brother. Thank you.
We are not going anywhere. Our people must understand. These people I have mentioned who bled for our land, they can never be remembered or mentioned by Nigeria. By mistake, they just project them. But they are destroying them gradually. And then they sabotage us. They want to preside them and make them king over us. But we will tell our story. That is why we are here. Biafrans are going, and there is nothing anybody can do about it. We are going home to our own land. Nothing anybody can do. But until then, we will tell them this story right here in the zoo, and the world must know about it. Are you still there, caller on WhatsApp?
Yes.
Good evening
My
from
African
here.
right.
Go ahead,
Good
please.
evening, fellow Biafrans. Good evening, lovers of freedom. My name is Joy Alnawobo. I'm from Abia State in Obingwa local government, Biafra province, and I'm calling from Cross River State, Ekom, Biafra land. Yes, our leader have said it all, and our rep have analyzed and digressed very much tonight concerning this personality profile. He have paid it all. It's left for us, Biafrans, to know which way, to know which hand is good for us to wear the bank. Yes, when you talk about the wicked leaders that have been led astray today, we will know that and understand very well that these people have come to kill us. They have come to kill us. I listened to this audio. I have come to understand that even our resources, our oil does not even belong to us again. Biafrans can testify to that. The British company take it to British, they bring it back to Nigeria. Is that not madness? Total madness.
They fight in the Senate and say subsidy. When they are calling subsidy, you think they are doing you a favor. But we will remember all of them. We shall remember them.
Total madness. They are all mad. They are preaching hatred. Igbo hate themselves, and they are killing us. It's them now that is reminding us that if they let us go, we will kill ourselves. So what about the genocide that have been committed against us? They are not in that one. Oh, they think that we have forgotten. We are counting it for them. The Biafran genocide, the British and the Nigerian government committed against us, we are counting it and we are keeping the record for them. As for their servants, Azikiwe, our leader have promised him, and it's going to be like that. Very soon we'll march to his grave and assume he's off, and we'll burn it at the center of the road. He called us rebels. After he have seen that many trillions upon billions of Biafrans have been murdered in his face, he called us rebels. Can never be well with him, even inside his grave. It can never be well with that man. It can never be well with him. He thinks that he have not died, everything has died off. It have not though. It have not. He caused the aid workers to close the whole borders, and they were not bringing food to Biafran land. Children were starved. They starved and died of kwashiorkor, malnutrition. Our mothers were raped and murdered, and he called us rebels. Posterity will come before him. We are counting it for them. Everybody should understand in Biafra that the only hope is our freedom. Only for us in IPOB as a Biafran, to stand our ground and do what we are asked to do. If we do it, we are not going to regret it. Thank you, Mazi, for giving me this opportunity. May the Chukwu Kikabiama continue to strengthen you and protect you. In the name of Chukwu Kikabiama.
See, are you there? Call on WhatsApp.
Yes, I'm here.
Good evening. Go ahead, please.
Sir, I just want to give God the glory for having you this evening. I know it's not easy to get you. I pray that Almighty God will continue to strengthen you and be strengthening also our leader and deputy and all principal officers. And also I ask the Almighty God to work Gabiama to strengthen all the IPOB worldwide. So I'm so grateful on the teachings and the lessons that you are giving to us. I'm just praying God that Biafra should come more rapidly so that we can be able to have you in full. Because what you are teaching, that those things are not even taught in universities. And these things are giving us happiness.
They don't even want you to know those people existed. They want you to think it's only buffoon like Roger Okorocha, Uzodju Zokalo, all those people they push around. They want you to look up to them as your leader. And then you start behaving like them. They will never let you know that there are men and women who drop their chieftaincy title and defend their land. When you hear about Akanobiam, you think these people are ordinary people. They say to hell with comfort, to hell with award, to hell with chieftaincy titles, to hell with everything. Freedom of my people first. They never want you to know about them because they want you to only see the baboons in Aso Rock, the beggars like Nayamudu. These are people they want you to think about. And then you begin to reduce yourself to their level. No, we are more than that. Our people must know that. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, sir. I am so much waiting. There is nothing I can eat and forget Biafra. That's even when I'm sleeping, I just want to hear a command from our leader. Though I'm not home, I'm in Gabon, but I'm just waiting to hear a command. Since they don't want to give us Biafra peacefully, whatever it will take. I have said it time without number that even though we have to pay with our lives, it doesn't bother us. But Biafra must be free. Some people used to say it is either Biafra or death. There is nothing like either Biafra or death. It is either Biafra or Biafra. You cannot take it. In this era, Biafra, even though if they want, let them do whatever they like, but Biafra must come this time. So, sir, thank you very much. Continue. May the Almighty God guide them and continue to strengthen you, give you more wisdom, protect you, and grant you health so that you will be doing that which you know how to do and will be benefiting. Thank you, sir. Good night.
Thank you very much. We must continue. Our God is faithful and there is nothing anybody can do about that. Are you there, caller on the line? Caller on the line, are you there? Caller on the line, are you there?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening from here. Go ahead, please.
My name is Eunice Abai Ejimole. I'm from Abriba. I've called to know the house that I will join. Yes, I've called to send me one coordinator. And he told me that he's called. I gave him every of my reason. And he told me that he's coming. Up till now, I have not heard from him. Later I call again. Up till now, I have not seen him.
Did you save the number with which you were called at the initial stage?
Yes, I saved the number.
Okay, call the number.
I saved it with.
Still call the number.
I saved the number.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead.
I saved the number. I write coordinator so that I will remember his name. So later when I'm not hearing from him, I call again. I've gone up to more than 5 times.
See what you will do. Still send me back your data on that WhatsApp line. I'll follow it up myself. Do indicate you're the person that called me. I'll follow it up myself.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We must continue. Our people must understand. All we want to do, all we ever ask for, we want to remain ourselves. Nothing more, nothing less. Caller on WhatsApp, are you there? Caller, good evening.